The 10-minute drill.
This is a big one.
Covered by Universal Roof and Contracting. The difference is universal.
On 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it.
Yeah. Yeah.
All
right, let
right.
me clean up your mess here first. Apparently, through the Apple Corporation, there is a Find My iPhone feature which you could very clearly and easily download and use. So if you ever lose your iPhone, you can
Well, how would you find it if it's on your iPhone?
Either on computer or on
You go off
DWR's
computer.
phone. Or you get off computer.
You enter your iPhone login.
It tells you exactly where it is.
Now you have to know your iPhone login and password, Dan, which I'm probably
You've
sure
probably forgotten
you don't.
by now.
Well,
That's
as long as we're talking about that.
Somebody also said.
Hold on, as long as we're talking about that, smart guy on Lifetime Enclosure text line. Go ahead and tell me how come I keep calling people and my phone's not clicking over like to call. Like I'll dial somebody and they'll just sit there and go calling mobile and it'll wait and wait and wait.
Oh, that's because you haven't paid your bill. That's a separate issue.
That's not it.
One guy said he drove home I-95 north from the stadium with his cell phone on the roof of the car.
And it
was exactly where it was when he got there.
I love that. That's a good story.
Yeah.
I like that story. Good
And
job.
then,
Good job, Googans.
And the one guy suggested how the interchange with the store clerk went. Clerk, sir, what is the background picture? What is the background picture on your phone? Dan, it's a picture of a guy getting slapped in the face with a fish fillet. Clerk, correct. Here's your phone, sir. All right. Anyway,
Very good.
you have your phone now. I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it's right here. Unless this isn't my phone and I took it from somebody
Well,
else.
that would be bad. That would be bad. All right. A couple things to get into here today in the 10-minute drill as we bounce around. I try and not be the I hate Todd McShay guy, but every year he just at this time makes me say, I hate you, bro.
Why do you hate
I
Todd
hate your
McShay?
face.
Oh,
I
dear.
hate your voice.
Hate's a strong word.
But and that's why I use it.
Yeah.
But most of all, I hate your mock drafts
Mm-hmm.
because you somehow think either that we're this stupid or that people don't care that with the 20th pick in the mock draft.
Hey, there's a lot of evidence to support that.
Well, maybe.
I don't know what you're talking about here.
He's got the Jags, though, Dan, with the 20th pick,
Mm-hmm.
reaching for an offensive tackle that he has ranked 46th on his board. What kind of moron has a mock draft and gives a team the 46th best player at number 20 when it's not an above and beyond need?
No, we have many needs.
That's just so dumb. I mean, how can I look at a mock draft from Todd McShay or take anything that he says about the Jaguars seriously if he literally gives me a player from USC I've never heard of at 46? I mean, what is that? Can you explain that to me? What level of uninformed does he reach? I mean, is he uninformed about what the needs of the team are? Is he uninformed about, or is he just super informed and he knows they're the Jags and they'll make a pick like that?
That's the question.
Oof.
That's the question.
Because, by the way, Todd, we also have the 50th pick in the draft. So if you're going to give us the 46th best prospect, if it's okay with you, we're just going to roll the dice and see if he's not there at 50.
I mean, he's got the Auburn corner as his 19th player.
He's a JA.
Why wouldn't we take him?
100% JA. 1,000%. You are a J to the A McShay.
He's got an inside linebacker as his 21st ranked player. Why wouldn't we take him instead? Who did he have taken 9?
And Kinlaw,
Kinlaw.
which is he's in love with.
Fast riser.
He's in love with.
Well, he's moved up the boards. I pretty much see him everywhere. So, Javon Kinlaw would be fine. I mean, he's a big kid, and put him up there in the middle, and away we go. We'll see. But, oh, my goodness, is there – golly. Could we have, like, 8 first-round picks? That way we'd probably hit on 4 of them and be better.
Half of them?
Yeah.
What model are you using to say that we've hit half of our first rounders?
We've decided to incorporate a new rule for the Jacksonville
They
Jaguars.
get 2 picks. Every time they're due on the board, they get 2 picks.
Because we don't recognize them in any way, shape, or form when it comes to just about, well, anything in the National Football League. We're going to allow them 8 first-round picks. 8 first-round picks. And
Although
sprinkle
they do,
them in.
Yeah, we're very happy to announce they also have a new fight song. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum, ba-da, bum, bum.
No, he did.
Bum, 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 ba-da, bum, 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 bum.
It's not very nice.
Well,
Brett Brown, is that the name of the Sixers coach?
yes.
Yeah, he's not going to be the Sixers coach much longer.
Well, what do you mean?
He's going to get fired.
Oh, well, that's mean-spirited.
Well, go ahead and write that one down.
If he can play,
Sources tell me.
if he can play all his games in Philly, he will stay there forever because they're just about unbeatable at home. The problem is they go on the road and become one of the worst teams in the NBA. They've lost twice to Atlanta on the road this year. Atlanta has like 6 wins.
Got annihilated last night, I think.
Here's the deal with Brett Brown.
Yeah.
They are now, after losing to Miami's a good team, but after losing to Miami, they're 9-18 on the road.
Yeah.
But at home, they're 22-2.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
I mean, there's not a bigger
I
case
got
of
news
Jekyll
for
and
you.
Hyde.
When you're the 6th seed, that means you don't have as many home games as you do away games in the postseason.
I thought it was bigger news that Ben Simmons, you don't often hear athletes talk about their own teams this way. But in response to a question about how athletic and big they are and what was the problem, Simmons said pretty bluntly, we're soft.
Yeah.
That's
At
like the
least he said we.
It's one adjective that athletes hate to use for themselves or anyone else.
Man, the East is bad again. 7 and 8 are under 500 by 5 games. Wow.
Every bit of it, right?
Yeah. Although in the West, it's not like they're. Remember the West a couple years back, they all had comfortable winning records.
No, and the top of the West. The upside of this basketball season is we should have a competitive finals.
Yeah. We should. And we don't know who's going to be in the finals either. That's the kind of upside to me.
Should Billy Donovan get Coach of the Year consideration? Have Oklahoma City 30-20?
Good job, Billy.
That's 30-20, man.
Yeah.
He's watched his best play, Paul George.
I was 30-20 with George and Westbrook.
He's seen George, Westbrook, and Durant all leave since he took the job like 10 minutes ago, and yet here they are at 30-20. Good for him. Hawks,
By the way,
it's maintaining the worst record in the league. That's
and
solid.
those idiots at Oklahoma City traded away to Indy really good players
Back in the day with
for
Oladipo.
the Paul George trade.
Yeah.
Sabonis, I think, did he make the All-Star team? Is that possible?
I think he did.
That is correct.
Yeah. He had a big
now,
game
it raises
last
a lot of
night.
eyebrows, but yes.
Well, Oladipo.
Should he have not been?
Listen, Oladipo also went in that deal.
Yeah.
Correct.
He's better than Sabonis. He's just been hurt.
Yeah.
So, and he's back, by the way. And the Pacers will be the East, dude. Who's going to win the East? I mean, I don't know. Miami could win it. Indiana could win it. The Sixers, those are 4, 5, and 6.
Well, listen, I'll give Toronto a lot of credit. They lost Kawhi and they're 36 and 14.
It's actually, what are we doing here?
It's the
Milwaukee
Bucks.
is head and shoulders the best team in the East, and they're going to win the East.
Yeah.
That's what's going to happen. It's just worked out. It's broken perfectly for Milwaukee. They are just, light years ahead of the rest of the conference.
What did the Bucks do last year? Eastern Conference Finals?
Yeah, they lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah, they should.
Their point differential this year, Dan, is plus 12.4 of the Bucks. The next closest team, the Lakers, is plus 7. So 5-point better plus differential than anyone.
I'd like to see the Milwaukee Bucks win the NBA title. I'd like to see a small market.
I'd be okay with that.
You
Of course, they won it with Kareem many moons ago, but
that'd be another team that
they got a really good coach. They got my guy.
That'd be another team that had that, lengthy time between championships. If Milwaukee were able to win it as we
have a
watched
national, for sure.
Kansas City do
Yeah,
it this weekend, and other teams.
We have a national signing day tomorrow. Is there any buzz? Are we just now like all in on the December effort and then just kind of piecemeal? Is there?
Oh, you want
is there a
add,
list of targets? Is there a chance for Florida or Florida State or Miami to move up? I mean,
absolutely.
Maybe some buzz we can share a little bit later today as we look at this final push. I know the Gators still are hopeful of getting another 3 or 4 ESPN 300 level of recruits.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did see that they reconfigured. Is it Rivals or 247? Georgia now #1 recruiting class.
Well, they should be. They spent $3.7 million on recruiting last year. $3.7 million, more than anybody in the country.
Should there be a salary cap on recruiting budgets?
Well, I would say yes, but they were the second best profit margin in the SEC. So spend money to make money. It worked for them.
I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I mean, Florida has plenty of money. They just like to act like they don't.
It's disgusting, yet it is what it is.
Well, I mean, the football program makes a lot of money for the school.
Yeah.
So if they want to spend all the money they're making, or Georgia could give up football and let me know what your ledger looks like now.
Yeah.
For all the complaints about how much you spend on football coaches and, non-academic items or issues or personnel. Well, take those athletic programs away and let me know how you're doing.
$3.7 million. That is number one. Outside of the SEC, Clemson spent 2.2 and Oklahoma 1.28, and those are the top ones.
What did Florida spend? Like $20?
I don't know. Georgia's rise in recruiting expenses come after the Bulldogs report roughly $31 million in operating surplus. So, but it was a decrease from 2018, down $12 million. Georgia has $174 million in operating revenue and $143 million in operating expenses. That's only second to Texas A&M.
Jimbo going to buy him.
Make money, money, money.
So Texas A&M is giving, what, is it $9 million a year to Jimbo?
$75 million over 10 years.
So $7.5 million to Jimbo, and now another $3 million in recruiting. $10 million a year they're spending on a football program that's going 8-4. At least Georgia's living the high life. It's their biggest, most sustained run of success since the Herschel era.
Yeah. Man, that's a lot. I mean,
that's a lot of cash. But again,
$3.7 million. Well, how do you spend that much money? Gas?
Flights. Right? We'll fly out to California five times.
You have a lot of employees too.
Yeah,
I would say job is recruiting.
I would say what has happened when you become that national contender, you become a national recruiter. So, you know how it is in Florida when it's coming down the stretch. Dan Mullen and his staff might call on the same recruit 3 or 4 times in a 7-day period.
Yeah.
Well, if you have that same, moxie toward a kid living in San Jose, California, going to spend more money on him for sure.
Florida is chasing the following guys: athlete DeMarcus Beckwith at 9 a.m. Ashad Clayton is a Colorado commit and a running back. Cedric Van Pran is a Georgia commit, offensive line. He's a center. Jahmyr Gibbs is the running back from Georgia Tech. There's a guy named Princely Umunmilan.
Sure.
Is a defensive end. Avante Williams is that safety. And then making sure they get Xavier Henderson is unsigned.
CJ's brother.
Mark Britt is an athlete who's a Florida commit.
He's also unsigned, though.
Unsure if he will sign on Wednesday or wait. Leonard Manuel will not sign on Wednesday and will wait to sign on April 1st.
He's an Oregon
wide receiver, Leonard Manuel.
Yeah,
so
he's considered Oregon.
Those are the guys that they're chasing.
All right, Chiefs 49ers give us the highest Super Bowl rating in 5 years. What do you attribute that to? Is it because I think it could be a number of factors.
I would say it was the 10th highest rated Super Bowl of all time. I would say Mahomes maybe having that star power. Mahomes has sort of become with
small
the win,
market though.
Face of the NFL. Yeah, but everybody knows Patrick. He transcends Kansas City, obviously. I don't know because the weather was pretty good across the country, so it's not like you were. The reason why that. What was it? Is it the Cincinnati San Francisco game is still the most watched Super Bowl of all time, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah, that's what we said.
And the reason why
was like a
snowstorm.
Yeah,
there was blizzards all over the country, and everybody was stuck inside.
Huh.
I think that's what I read.
I think
that was years ago.
Hasn't some of the NFL's turmoil died down? Like some people, I don't know how honest they are when they say, I'm not watching, when they protest this and protest that. And, that's kind of abated a little bit because we had some good games in that run. I mean, that Philly-New England game was good. The Atlanta, unless you're a Falcons fan, Atlanta-New England. I mean, we've had some classic Super Bowls here. To have been, lesser viewed doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I did find it interesting when you throw in the Spanish language broadcast, over 100 million viewers. But, man, you want to talk about commitment in the fourth quarter in Kansas City?
Yeah.
If you took a survey of the TVs in use, so all the TVs that were turned on in Kansas City, 97% of them were watching the Super Bowl. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, that Super Bowl in '82 was a 73 share nationwide.
Yeah, but it was it did have the most people watching.
Not the most people.
Yeah.
It was the rating. Yeah.
Total views was 110 million.
Really? Even back then, that's more than this one. That's
total
crazy.
viewers 110 million.
Think about that, Hick.
See,
now,
so
according to these
because
numbers, the biggest was Super Bowl 41 in Houston. Total viewers 172 million.
What year?
That was the one in Houston, 17.
What is it? Who
See,
was
I'm
that?
looking at one most watched broadcast by average viewership, and it says number one.
That was New England, Atlanta.
The one I'm looking at says 2015 was number one, 114 million.
Well, this is right. That's average viewers.
Yeah.
If you sort by average viewers, that's the highest.
Well, what were you using?
I was
Share?
looking at total viewers.
Oh, what's the difference?
I don't know. Average viewers, right? 114 million is the highest. Super Bowl 49.
All right, we talked about FSU a little bit off the top, Dan, but this
The only program in the top 20 of all time that is not a Super Bowl is MASH, the MASH
Still.
finale.
and that's viewers or rating.
That's viewers.
Well, see, that's even more impressive because the country has grown by a quarter of the amount of the population.
1983, 105 million watched MASH.
83. What was the population in the America in 1983?
It was 82 billion.
No, it's only like 430 million now.
Go by the Burger King commercial.
So it probably had to be
200
like,
million
I bet
people.
you it was probably, what, 300 million in 83 maybe?
No, two aren't quite
According to the
same.
1980 census, the U.S. population was 226 million.
And half the population watched MASH? I never got into MASH. Of course, I was young then. Too little to really find humor in it, I guess.
Oh, hot lips.
I reckon. All right, back to speaking about programs in the
Yes,
top
sir.
20.
Yes.
Higher than the top 20 is FSU. And Nick, I guess I would just sum them up this way. Look, North Carolina's no good. They're having a down year.
They got
One-
Cole Anthony back though. He was
Yeah.
he was
Missed
hot
seven-
early, and then he missed
17
a ton of shots.
Yeah, he missed 17. He
Oof.
shot too much. He's just turned the ball over too much. I don't find that brand of basketball to impress me that much. But nonetheless, what else do they have? They almost have to turn to him. They've battled some injuries this year.
The bigger story for them. Well, finish your FSU thought, but North Carolina's not going to make the tournament. This
Yeah,
year.
but the bigger story than that is you want to talk. We talk about parity a lot in sports.
Yes,
Least parity, college
yes.
basketball. If you're Duke, North Carolina, Kansas, or Kentucky, you're not having 2 bad years in a row because you're getting 4 McDonald's All-Americans coming in, and they'll be fine. They'll be right back in the preseason top 5.
That's where they'll be next year.
Whereas football, it's a lot more dangerous. I mean, Florida in 06 and 08 was as good as any program in the country, and 5 years later they couldn't make a bowl. That didn't happen. Carolina won't fall off the map like that. They'll bring in another class studded with All-Americans, and they'll be fine. But as for FSU, this year fits perfectly for Leonard Hamilton, his personality and his style. And the reason is this. He doesn't have a Jonathan Isaac or a Dwayne Bacon or a Beasley. He doesn't have Malik Beasley. He doesn't have first-round talent on this basketball team. So the way he likes to run in waves, 10, 11 players, fits perfectly in conjunction with a season that does not have a great college team out there. There is no one that FSU wouldn't beat if they played tonight. That doesn't mean they would necessarily win the game, but there's, some years it's going to take a massive upset. I don't know who Florida State could play where they'd be less than a 3-point dog. I mean, they could play at Gonzaga, and it might not be more than 4 or 5. So, if you're an FSU basketball fan, you just hope and pray you can take advantage of a year like this and out of nowhere win a natty. That's how it started for Florida. When Florida won the national title, no one was thinking natty title when the Gators started that postseason.
I believe I had him.
Yeah, they were a 5th seed, so good for you.
Thank you. I think I won that here. Let's do caller number 2 right now. Beef, tell them what they're going to take home.
Caller number 2 right now, Dan, at 641-1010, going to take home a pair of tickets to the NextEra Energy 250 coming up on February 14th down at the Daytona International Speedway. And if you text the keyword Speed Weeks right now to 641-1010, you'll be automatically entered for a chance to win a pair of tickets to the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, coming up on Sunday, February 16th.